Hey guys, so I'm gonna be doing the English spoken version and hopefully abridged version. Abridged, is that how you say it? Anyway, I'm gonna do like an English version of the Prey review that I did in Spanish a couple days ago or a day ago. I think it was yesterday. Okay, disclaimers. First of all, if you like this movie, that's fine. That's fine. You're allowed to like this movie because apparently a lot of people I know like this thing. That's all fine and dandy, but I can't for the life of me understand why. I don't know. I guess we're so used to getting shat on our mouths that when they just piss on them, we're like, oh, good, good. At least it's not shit. It's just piss. So yeah, in case you didn't guess already, I didn't really like this movie. I thought it was like I guess mediocre, average, decent action adventure movie set in the 1700s. If that's a genre, I don't know. I guess it is now. But as a Predator movie, I think it fucking sucked. I think it was terrible. And I consider myself to be a big Predator geek. Because I remember discovering Predator through the Dark Horse comics in the early 90s when I was a kid, because I discovered everything through comics, right? That's how much of a nerd I am. And I remember getting bullied because I was obsessed with Predator and with aliens, and that's just because I'm an autist, okay? Be patient. I have autism, and I get obsessed with things. And back then I got obsessed with Alien and Predator, and it wasn't cool to be a nerd. It's not like today, with your Hellfire Club T-shirt and shit and whatnot. Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't cool to be a nerd back in the 1980s, 90s. But okay, I'm getting out of track here. Yeah, I consider myself a kind of a connoisseur of Predator, and first of all, this didn't feel like a Predator movie. And while it was better than The Predator from 2018, that's not saying much because I consider The Predator from 2018 to be a venereal disease, not really a movie. It wasn't better than Predators. It was at the very least as bad as Alien versus Predator. That's how bad it was. And I'll admit I have the Aliens versus Predator DVD in my collection, but only because of let's call it obsessive compulsive completism. I know completism is a word in Spanish, but I'm not sure in English. But anyway, yeah. Now I'm not buying this movie. I'm not putting this movie in my collection because as I said, this doesn't feel like a Predator movie. This feels like, I don't know, like a live action Pocahontas remake minus the romance that had a Predator like shoehorned in at some point in the pre-production, maybe as a way of like keeping the rights to the franchise, because Disney has been at odds with the Thomas brothers, the original creators of Predator. So yeah, it just didn't feel like a Predator movie. First of all, I think it's really important, but I think music is really important. Where is the music? The Alan Silvestri music is like really really iconic. Even Predators paid homage. I'm trying, okay. Even Predators like had nods to the original two movies theme song by the great Alan Silvestri. Great, not late. He's still alive. I don't know how old he is, but I think he should still be allowed to like make music for Predator. But for some reason he hasn't. Anyway, no Predator music here. Like that really bugged me. And actually, the soundtrack, the music was like really generic. It was just violins, and it didn't sound like Predator. It sounded like, I don't know, any drama that had violence. And its soundtrack, I don't know what they were going for, but it was like completely forgettable. What else? Okay, so as I said, I'm a huge Predator nerd, and if I remember correctly, let me close the windows here. 'Cause yeah, my neighbors are kind of retarded, or they're Spanish, which is pretty much the same. As I was saying, it's stated in the first two movies that the Predators get drawn to heat and conflict. And this is why in the first two movies it's made pretty clear, it's made abundantly clear, not just through the dialogue and the acting, but also through the cinematography, that it's really, really freaking hot. Like, it's like they're all covered in sweat, talking about how hot it is. Like Danny Glover in the second one is like has like parts of sweat on his shirt. Is complaining about the AC and all that. There's none of that in here. There's none of that. Actually, the cinematography is kind of like grayish. It's like I don't know. It doesn't have like many warm tones, and the way it's shot and the way people act and dress makes me believe that it's set maybe in the fall, somewhere in. I think this was shot in Alberta, Canada. So I don't know. Canada? Why would a predator feel the need to travel to Canada in the fall, where there's apparently no conflict? Because even though the main character is a Comanche, she lives in a Comanche village, and if I remember correctly, Comanches used to be like a really bloodthirsty tribe. Like the other tribes were afraid of them. Actually, if I remember correctly, according to the movie Hell or High Water, Comanche means enemy of everyone. So if these Comanches in particular were at odds, like were fighting other tribes and stuff, maybe that's what attracted the predator. But they weren't fighting anyone. So I don't know why the predator felt the need, based on what we know about this species. I don't know why the predator felt attracted to this particular place in this particular time of the year. No explain. Maybe it was the French trappers. I don't know. Trappers, not trappers. That's another thing. Trappers, yeah. What else is there in the list? Well, I took this picture. I'm actually filming this as it speaks, just so you don't have to look at my stupid face. Nah, just to illustrate a point. It says here that praise Naru has cemented his status in the franchise, yet her role also undermines the original Predator cast in the best possible way. No, it undermines the original Predator cast in the worst possible way. You're telling me that these guys on the right of the picture weren't able to take on the Predator? These guys are like veteran soldiers with cutting-edge technology. Arnold was at his prime. He was like a machine of flesh and bone, ready to destroy everything in its path. And this here chubby girl, because she's kind of chubby. Like, yeah, maybe I'm ripping off Sargon a bit too much, but she does look fat in the face. She does look out of shape. Well, yeah, she does undermine the first team in the worst possible way. Like, they weren't able to take on the Predator, and she is. Okay. And by the way, don't tell me that this movie wasn't woke just because it didn't have overly woke, I don't know, propaganda. Because it was really freaking woke. Like, Naru here, apparently it's pronounced Nardu, according to the Disney fandom page, and I never thought I would see the day in which I would be reading about Predator in the Disney fandom page, but here we are. It's 2022. According to this page, her name is pronounced Nardu. Nobody calls her Nardu. But Nardu here, she's a massive Mary Sue. Maybe she's not the worst offender of the Mary Sue charges, but she's still one. Like, you can tell that at some point during the script writing, somebody said, okay, let's tone her Mary Sue-ness down a bit. Like, have her fail at a couple of things. Like, don't make her like 100% perfect. Maybe make her 95% perfect. Because there's a dialogue at the beginning of the movie, which I think it's her mom. I don't know if it's stated or I missed it or what, but she's talking to an elderly woman, because gotta pass that Bechdel test, I guess. And the elderly woman tells her, well, you're good at so many things. Why do you want to hunt? Oh, she's good at so many things. Well, yeah, according to this movie, she's good at everything. She can like track, she can heal, like she's a healer. She, we're introduced to her like she's practicing with her tomahawk, and she has almost a perfect aim. She can use the knife. We later on find out that she's basically able to MMA the shit out of 3 of her fellow clansmen or tribesmen and 6 Frenchmen. She's like, I don't know, 50 pounds, not particularly in shape. As you can see, she's like smallish, chubby face, no muscle tone on her arms. So yeah, no, she is a Mary Sue. Don't tell me she's not a Mary Sue just because it's not like overly stated. Come on, like it's what else is there to talk about? Like the depiction of the French, just like a just like a passing, just like I don't know, three scenes with the French rappers. I know they're in the trailer, and you hope that maybe they will get I don't know some development, some reason why they're here now. They just like they want to hunt the predator, so they're gonna use Naru as bait. So she steps on a bear trap. Bear trap fucks up her leg, but she's fine. 5 minutes later, she can run and jump and do MMA and shit. So yeah, they take advantage of her getting her leg all fucked up by a bear trap, and they chain her up and use her as bait. Use her as her brother as bait. They're pure evil. Frenchmen are pure evil. Then again, we all know they were, but yeah, I mean, don't give me that it's not woke thing when this is a feminist fantasy made flesh. This character here, the only redeeming quality that the men have in this movie is that they're brown, they're Native Americans. I'm not gonna say Indians because apparently Indians is a bad thing now. The Frenchmen are all evil, except this one less evil guy who acts as an interpreter for her and tells her what she needs to know and what the audience needs to know about why the Frenchmen are here. Luckily, I can also speak French, so I didn't need the interpreter guy to tell me what was going on. But this interpreter guy, of course, was like a métis, was like a half caste. He had like a slightly racial face for some reason. So he's not entirely bad because he's half Native American like you. Oh, by the way, I think this guy is. I didn't see it clearly because I wasn't watching this in 4K. I don't know if you get my meaning. But apparently this guy, this interpreter guy, was Raphael Adolini, the owner. Nah, spoilers. Fuck this shit. Don't watch this crap. There you go. He was the owner of the pistol that Danny Glover gets awarded at the end of Predator 2 as his rightful prize for defeating a predator in combat. So I don't know how that works out. Like a French, like a Quebecois, half Indian guy is actually an Italian, and I don't know. Nothing makes sense here. What else is there to talk about? Like, oh yeah, she's not only is a walking, talking feminist fantasy. She also is a Marvel princess because she has a pet. She has a fucking she has a cute little dog that goes everywhere with her. Like Pocahontas had a raccoon, and Ariel had Flounder, and Mulan had Mushu. Well, this chick here is a little tiny, cute, adorable dog for the girls. Because I never believed that people, mostly women, that enjoyed Mulan and The Little Mermaid were also into Predator. Like they were like a potential audience for Predator, but there you go. And there's a scene at the end, mild spoilers, I guess. She's fighting the Predator hand to hand, even after it's been established that the Predator is as strong as a bear. Beer is something that you drink. As a bear, he's as strong as a bear, and he's as fast as a snake. Like he wrist blades a snake like a second before the snake jumps and bites him. Like he's really fast. He's insanely strong. Yet this little girl here is able to withstand its blows, and he just like roll over, say grunt, and get up, get back on her feet, and keep fighting. So during this fight, there's a scene in which like the Predator seems to have the upper hand, and it's gonna like again wrist blade the crap out of her, and she's like, "Little doggy, now!" And the dog just jumps out of nowhere with a knife in its mouth, and it gives her the knife, and I was like, I rolled my eyes so hard that I could almost see my anus. That's all I'm saying. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, this again, if you like this movie, it's fine. I didn't like this movie all that much. It didn't feel like a Predator movie. Like the Predator felt out of place. Admittedly, oh no, yeah, come back, yeah, there you are. This is what happens when you do improvised videos, prep time. Anyway, yeah, it didn't feel like a Predator movie. Like the Predator feels shoehorned in. But then again, you all read the plot synopsis when this movie got announced, right? You all read how it was about this strong and independent woman that needs no man in an America in which the Europeans still hadn't set foot, and you were like reading that, and they were like, yeah, but where does the Predator come in? Why is this a Predator movie? Like I don't. At the core of it all lies the question that I don't know why anyone thought that this movie needed to be made. Just I don't know. Like, hey, let's make another Predator movie. Okay. What about? Well, how about this little Indian girl who fights the Predator in the 1700s? That's that's awesome. Yeah, because we'd have like an elite team of soldiers fighting the Predator in the jungle, and then we had like an elite team of cops fighting the Predator in the city, and then we have like an elite team of killers, hired killers and mercenaries fighting the Predator in a trio of Predators in an alien jungle. So what's next? Well, the next logical step is to like take it back in time and have the Predator fight like a little Indian girl, I guess. Sure. I don't know. I don't understand this. I don't understand this movie. This movie didn't feel like a Predator movie. This movie was crap. And again, you're allowed to like crap. I like smoking cigars. Cigars are probably crap. They're bad for you. I still enjoy them. So I view this movie as the same. It's bad, but if you enjoy it, hey, all the more power to you. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to work now. Cheers.